All right, Shalom. I want to start by saying, call Allah, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, KAKADASH. Double honors to the apostles of Israel, aka the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach your truth and all truth and sincerity. All right, real quick. So I was doing a little thing I do, which I call match the scripture with the day, scripture of the day on the day. All right, so today is February 25th, which you read it out was 2:25. So, today at work, I had a little bit of downtime. So I was just, whatever, looking through books, to going to the second chapter, which second chapters had 25 verses and whatever. And just going through things, some didn't. I went through some was like, some don't be hitting, some be regular. But then I stumbled across Daniel, the second chapter. I don't know what led me to go to Daniel that quickly, but like, there's a spirit. I went to Daniel, the second chapter, and went to the 25th verse. Now we go into the book of Daniel, the second chapter. It talks about the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had. All right, it's a popular story. It's a popular story amongst Israel, breakdowns galore. And I heard, I know the breakdown, heard the breakdown, you know what I'm saying? But like today, it just seemed a little more extra fascinating. And I think that's partly in part because of what's actually going on now. Because you actually have this coming to pass, or about to come to pass as well, because the Lord's kingdom is about to come. All right, but the Lord said before his kingdom comes, he got to take out these heathens. And when the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had, he had a dream of the latter. That Daniel told him what? It was a dream of the latter days. That's how we know we're in the latter days. This is Daniel, the second chapter, coming to fruition as we speak day by day. All right. So I'm going to jump right into it. So this is the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 25, and it reads, it says, then Arioch brought in Daniel before the king in haste. Because remember, the king was, all bent out of shape, asking people, what does this mean? What does this mean? Couldn't get nobody to tell him what it means. Had the astrologers and I think they said stargazers and things of that nature. Could tell him what the dream meant, and none of them could tell him the interpretation. All right, none of them could tell him what it actually meant, because whatever he saw, I guess it was so detailed and it was so horrific. Because remember, it said that he woke up, he was basically kind of like, and not all bent out of shape. All right. And says, and thus unto him, and said thus unto him, I have found the man of the captives of Judah, of the man of the captives of the men of Judah. Now you don't. Like, when you talk about, when it says Judah, that talks about who represents Judah today, the so-called Negroes, man. All right? So-called black man. So this is a so-called black man telling another so-called black man that was not an Israelite a dream. Or a man of color, I should say. I want to say black, a man of color. Captives of Judah says that will make known unto the king the interpretation. Verse 26, it says, the king answered and said to Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, what do I name it have for him? It says, art thou able to make known unto me the dream which I have seen and the interpretation thereof? So basically he's asking him what? Yo, could you tell me what this means? Because, it probably was all asking around. His peoples couldn't tell him. It says, verse 27, it says, Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, the secret which the king have demanded cannot the wise men, the astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers show unto the king. So he's saying, you coming to me? Cannot the people you have with all that fuck shit do it for you? You gonna come to the captives of Judah? You gonna come to a slave, basically? That's like you having one of these, one of these elites or one of these high figures coming to one of the men of the Lord, asking them what this such and such means if they had a dream. You know what I'm saying? It says, verse 28, it says, but there is a God in heaven, Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, a true living God, because obviously the God that y'all follow, all these nations, they follow these gods. They don't tell them if they have a dream, what they gonna know what it means. And it's a prime example. Have our God is the one true living God, Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. All right. Okay, so verse 28 of Daniel chapter 2. So it says, but there is a God in heaven that revealeth secrets and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days, which we're in right now. We are in the latter days. These are the latter days we are living in as we speak. When it's so-called February 25th, 2025 AD. We are living in the last days. Okay, so yeah, so verse 28 says, but there is a God in heaven that revealeth secrets and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. Thy dream and the visions of thy head upon thy bed are these. Verse 29, as for thee, O king, thy thoughts came into thy mind upon thy bed, what shall come to pass hereafter, and he that revealeth secrets maketh known to thee what shall come to pass. Verse 30, but for me, this secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living, any living. So what? Yo, Daniel playing the humble. He playing the humble like, yo, it's not for me to tell you that I have more wisdom than any of the living. That I'm like basically saying that I'm not saying I'm better than them because I know this, but this is a Daniel basically talking about the bigger picture. And he says, it says, yeah, but as for me, verse 30 says, but as for me, this secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living, but for their sakes that shall make known the interpretation to the king, and that thou mightest know the thoughts of thy heart. So basically, he said, yo, I know this just so I'm supposed to tell you. Point blank, period. I have the understanding so you can have it. I'm about to tell you about yourself and about the things that's going to come after. Okay, so this is Daniel chapter 2, verse 31. It says, thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. Verse 32, this image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass. Now, we go into that, the image, which is of fine gold, the head represents the Babylonian Empire, at his empire, actually. And it says, a fine gold, it says his breast and his arms of silver, which represents the Medo-Persian Empire. Which I have the thumbnail as a picture. And it says, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. Now, the fine gold was the Babylonians, the present kingdom. The next kingdom was the Medo-Persian Empire, which was the silver. The belly and the thigh represents the Greek, the Greece, the Greek Empire. And and it says okay, hold on, where am I at? His legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces. So yeah. So fine gold, yep. Babylon, breasts and the arms of silver, Median Persians, his belly and his thighs of brass, Greece, and it says his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay was what? The Roman Empire. Which all goes hand in hand, Greek Empire. The Esau's kingdom. Because with the Greek Empire came about the Greek Empire, what started with Antiochus. That was when Esau first started rule on the earth. And what did it say in the book of Esdras, the 4th chapter? It says what? No, excuse me, 6th chapter. It says what? Esau, the end of the world, Jacob, the beginning of it that followeth. This is Esau's kingdom you seeing. It says that thou sawest till that a stone, okay, verse 33 says, okay, no, excuse me. Verse 32 says, the image head was of fine gold, which is the Babylonian Empire, his kingdom, Nebuchadnezzar. His breast and his arms of silver, which the Medes and the Persian Empire. His belly and his thighs of brass, which is the Greek Empire. And his legs of iron, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and a part of clay represent the Roman Empire. Verse 34, it says, thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together and become like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the images became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. That's YAHAWASHI's kingdom. And it says what? When that word mountain says what? That mountain, that word mountain is synonymous with governments. So Yahushua about to come back and smite these nations, man. Because what is America known as? Also, the daughter of Babylon, Babylon the Great. This statue started with him, Nebuchadnezzar, that had the dream, and now up until this present time. Okay, so verse 36. So Daniel chapter 2, verse 36, it says, "This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king." It says, "Thou, O king, art the king of kings, for the God of heaven have given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory." So he basically said, you're ruling. The Lord, Yahweh BAHASHAM is giving you dominion. And even when you go into this same chapter, I believe what the 20-something, like 20th or 21st verse, it said the Lord what? He said he set up and removed kings. So Daniel telling Nebuchadnezzar, look, yo, the Lord set you up to rule right now. What was that? Yeah, so it says verse 38, it says, and wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven have he given into thine hand, and have made thee ruler over them. All thou art this head of gold. So he's telling you the head of gold, Nebuchadnezzar. He was a king at that present time. So he's saying that basically y'all kingdom, this kingdom that we're presently in, which was the Babylonian Empire back then of King Nebuchadnezzar, he said that you're the head. You're the head, you're that golden head. That art this head of gold. It says, verse 39, it says, and after thee shall rise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. So what? That next kingdom was the Medo-Persian Empire. Medo-Persian Empire. After that, it says what? It says, hold on, it says, another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth, which is then after that, the Roman Empire. And it says, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for so much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdueth all things. And as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. Verse 41, and it says, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay, and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as so much as thou sawest the iron mixed with mirror clay. And that represents now the America, the U.S., the U.S., the America, EU, and NATO, which makes up what? Esau's kingdom under the elites. Those countries, the EU, the NATO, and America, which is right now, we're living in that, what's that, the legs, the toes. The actual toes, we're living in the toes. That sounds weird. But what the toes represent, the kingdom that the toes represent. So let me read that again. So this is Daniel chapter 2, verse 41. It says, and whereas thou sawest the feet and the toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, which is all of these I just mentioned. But there shall be in it the strength of the iron, for so much as thou sawest the iron mixed with mirror clay, because that's a branch of the Roman Empire, including America. That same empire is reincarnated right now in the America, EU, and NATO. Same people, same bloodline of people. I'm gonna need a little light now. Verse 42, it says, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with mirror clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. So what? That's why it's so divided right now amongst these motherfuckers. You literally have Esau's kingdom divided. Now, what did the Lord say about a kingdom divided? What the fuck was that? What kind of bird was that? Now, what did the Lord say about a kingdom divided? He said, Satan's house is divided. How shall it stand? This is Satan's house right here. That Greco-Roman Empire, now with some America, EU, and NATO, the same people. And it says, verse 44, and it says, and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom. Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI now we talking. It says, which shall never be destroyed. That's Yahawashi's kingdom that's going to be on the earth. All these all these heathens, these Edomites, they all ruled on the earth. You don't think the Lord, Yahawashi, is not going to rule on the earth as well? Remember, the earth was given unto Yahawashi from the Heavenly Father Yahweh. And he's about to come and collect it back from Esau. He about to obliterate Job 9:24. For the earth is given unto the hand of wicked. He about to take the earth back. And it's going to be in the hands of who? The righteous. The righteous is under who? Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, the one true living righteous God. It says, which shall never be destroyed. Continuing on to verse 44, it says, which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Because what did it also say? It said the Lord shall what? Smite the nations. Remember, all these nations, they're all entangled with NATO, America, and the EU. These other heathens. The Babylonians, the fucking Ishmaelites, the Persians, which are Elamites. They're all intertwined with Esau. And then you can throw all the other nations in there too. I'm just present day, all the nations. Because the Lord said, what? Prepare ye war, ye Gentiles. So I said, for the day of the Lord is upon all the heathen. But in this present dream, it's all about a certain time frame. And we're living part of that time frame right now. And it shall stand forever. That's the everlasting kingdom of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Yahawashi's kingdom is going to be on the earth. And who's the people that's going to be ruling with them? The Israelites, the children of Jacob, the sons and daughters of Israel, the people that come from the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the people of the covenant. That's not the people in the land of Israel right now, the people of the covenant. Those are Edomites, Amalekites to be particular. Verse 45 of Daniel chapter 2, it says, for so much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it brake in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God, Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. This is surely going to come to pass. It's a part of it, a lot of it has already come to pass. And we already had the toes. So you already had the head, you had the gold, you had the silver, and you had the what is it, bronze? No, brass. Excuse me, brass. I said bronze, brass. And now we're in the clay and the iron toes, which represents America, NATO, and the EU. Verse 46, it says, then the king Nebuchadnezzar fell upon his face and worshiped Daniel, which what all you heathens going to do to the nation of Israel as a whole, starting with Yahawashi. Because he's going to spark this off. It says, and commanded that they should offer an oblation and sweet odors unto him. Verse 47, it says, the king answered unto Daniel and said, of a truth it is that your God is a God of gods and a Lord of kings and a revealer of secrets, seeing thou couldst reveal the secret. Because what? That secret that he had with the dream that he had. Daniel had a dream. Nebuchadnezzar had a dream. But he didn't understand what it meant. And he had an Israelite to tell him what it meant. And he had a child from an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, a so-called Negro. It says, verse 48, and it says, then the king made Daniel a great man and gave him many gifts and made him ruler over the whole province of Babylon and chief of the governors over all the wise men of Babylon. So he put Daniel on like a motherfucker. He put him as a don. He said it made him a great man in Babylon. So imagine when Yahawashi comes back and gives Israel true greatness, true power, immortality, for starters. Imagine once that happens, man. Because you already now you have things that some prophets back then couldn't break down being broken down now. You don't think these elites, you don't think these Edomites are watching? You don't think these other nations are watching? You don't think these other nations, whether it be America or abroad, see the Israelites prophesying the downfall of this kingdom and the ending of these heathens ruling over the Israelites? They might not all understand it. They might not all, you know what I'm saying? But people see the prophets. The truth is going throughout the four corners of the earth. Why do you think so much stuff is happening now? We almost up out of here. This is about to come to pass, this last bit of Daniel, the 2nd chapter, where it says what? He's going to smite all these kingdoms. It says, verse 49, it says, then Daniel requested the king, and he set Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego over the affairs of the province of Babylon, but Daniel sat in the gate of the king. Now, that's interesting, those 3 men, what they went through, what they endured, okay? Because after Nebuchadnezzar died, it got treacherous for Israel again. But all in all, that dream that Nebuchadnezzar had and was expounded upon from Daniel, who was an Israelite, made him put Daniel to be a great man in Babylon. Because he understood like how important that was for Daniel to have that knowledge and that wisdom to reveal what the dream meant. And especially fast forward to now, to know how we know what the dream means and how we see that part of the dream has come to pass already. And the last bit of the dream, that stone that you can tell where it was cut, being Yahawashai's kingdom, the everlasting domain of Yahawashai on the earth, that's about to come to pass then. Because we already at the feet. Now we're about to get to the stone. That's what's about to come to pass. These devils about to bring out the MOTB. They're bringing out the beast system as we speak more and more. The third woe coming quickly. The Lord said he was going to come back in the midst of the nations fighting. The third woe is coming quickly. And that's when the Lord is going to what? Smite all those kingdoms and smite the nations, man. Wait, hold up. Matter of fact, hold up. Let me see something real quick. No. Hold up, me go. It's after. Wait. That's a good one. Hold up. Obadiah. So there's the book. Remember, that stone is talking about the day of the Lord and then his kingdom afterwards. This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 15. It says, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. But when you go into the book of Obadiah, it's mainly talk about Esau. But these other nations have taken part with Esau to what? Oppress Jacob. And the Lord said, y'all not exempt from judgment, man. He said, the day of the Lord is upon all the heathen. And when you go, hold up. And when you go into Joel, the 3rd chapter, chapter 3, verse 9, it says, proclaim ye this is what we're doing right now. And that's what Daniel did to Nebuchadnezzar. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Oh, no, excuse me. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. What's happening right now? You got China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, America, NATO, the EU, all those countries, what they're preparing for war. Everybody talk about getting nuclear arms, drop drones, getting everything set up. They're doing everything that the Lord set out for them to do, which is what? Prepare war, as the scriptures say. All right? Verse 10, it says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. And that's what's happening right now. You got Iran. They was weak at one point, but now what? Let the weak say they are strong. If you could put Russia in it, because Russia was put down for a little bit. North Korea, all these low-level, the small potato countries, they're what? Saying they're strong. Because why? They have their resources. They have the resources to make these nuclear weapons and all that. And what? They have the backing of actual superpowers. You got North Korea backed by who? China and Russia. Iran backed by who? Russia. China. You know what I'm saying? The list goes on. And it's all these nations are what? They're preparing for war. And it's going to be a nuclear war. These nukes that these nations are, including America, that they're making and getting ready to use are going to be used. They're not getting this ready to not use them. Okay? It says, verse 11, it says, assemble yourselves. It's definitely what they're doing right now. China just did something. They just did something somewhere where they put something in position. America put things in position. The small heads, Russia, they all getting things in, assembling themselves, man. Getting ready for war. Putting themselves in a warlike position. It said, verse 11 of Joel chapter 3 says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen. and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So that's time for y'all to get judged now. And it's time for y'all to fight each other, and then y'all going to fight the Lord. And then the Lord going to destroy you. That's the future. That's the future that's coming. Is be prepared before our very eyes. Before our very eyes. This is all getting prepared. Daniel the 2nd chapter. Joel the 3rd chapter. Jeremiah the 50th chapter. Revelation the 18th chapter. Revelation the 19th chapter. Ezekiel, what? The 38th chapter, I believe? Hell, Ezekiel the 36th chapter. Isaiah, what? The 47th chapter. And the list goes on. The Lord said what? The Psalms and the prophets concerning me. That's what YAHAWASHI, who the world called Jesus, said. He said, I come in the volume of the book. These things were written of me. He's the Alpha and Omega. And that's what's about to go down. So, with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Israel, a.k.a. the apostles of Great Millstone. And peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. Shalom.